Back on First Alert meteorologist Jack Van Meter. We're going to start off our forecast with an update from the tropics. Obviously, their season is starting to spike up after being fairly quiet for much, if not all, of the summer. Now we have two named storms in the Atlantic, and it's looking like we could be seeing some impacts to the eastern U.S. Now, we're not looking at a land strike, but we are looking at some flooding concerns, rain concerns, and also some tidal concerns. So let's go ahead and name out the storms first. We do have Umberto, which is still a Category 4 major hurricane. This is a very, very strong storm that is turning out into the Atlantic. And then we have another storm that's just starting to get its act together, Imelda, that's actually over the Bahamas right now. We can just start to see some of the thunderstorm activities really start to ramp up around that center of low pressure. Now, when I talk about the tracks of the storms, I am going to zoom out the map so we can actually track out exactly where Umberto and Imelda are actually going to be going. We can't see Umberto going to be taking a large right turn into the North Atlantic, and Imelda actually being pulled out to the Atlantic Ocean because of Umberto. That is good news. Again, we don't want any land strikes to be made. It's looking like that is becoming more and more likely that we will be avoiding a hurricane making landfall. Good news there. But let's go ahead and reel the forecast back to Michiana. We'll talk about our school day commute, I guess, for today. So just in a few hours, 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning, we will have some fog around. Now, we were dealing with fog earlier in the week, and that was fairly dense fog where visibilities were severely impacted. We're not going to be talking about that whatsoever. You'll just notice the fog out there on the fields. Right around 50 degrees, especially in some rural areas. It'll be closer to 60s, closer to the cities. Now, for the pickup, a very different forecast is expected. Yeah, the 80s coming back. It's going to be another hot one for tomorrow. Here's a look at future tracks starting off the day tomorrow. High 50s, like I just said, warming up through the 70s rather quickly by the noontime hour. And then take a look at high temperatures across the area for tomorrow. 84 degrees at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 85 degrees down in Rochester, Winnemac, our big winner tomorrow, 86 degrees as that high temperature. A very warm day is expected. So overall, I have given a high temperature right around 85 degrees, a very summer-like day to kick off the week. Now, temperatures compared to average, our average high temperature this time of year, 69 degrees. Take a look at the numbers at the bottom of your screen. Tomorrow, for example, 17 degrees warmer than average, and then we're going to be hovering right around 10 to even 15 degrees above average as we move into the week. There's a look at that 10-day forecast. Fairly boring forecast, at least in my eyes. The most exciting thing happening this week is we're going to be seeing some clouds that move into Michiana on Wednesday. It's a very, very weak disturbance moves through the area. And then for Notre Dame football next weekend, well, it looks like it's going to be returning to sunny conditions and warm conditions, 82.